Hey everyone! As soon as Tyreek Hill joins the Kansas City Chiefs, his teammates will be overwhelmed with excitement. With his speed, agility, and football IQ, Hill is one of the most dangerous weapons in the NFL, and the moment he steps on the field, the team's energy will skyrocket. Defenses will struggle to keep up with his speed, while his deadly duo with Patrick Mahomes will turn into a nightmare for opponents. With Hill's arrival, the Chiefs won't just enhance their offensive firepower, they will also become the biggest favorites on the road to the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, fans will shake the stadium with excitement as a new championship era dawns in Kansas City. If you love the Kansas City Chiefs, leave a like because today we have a lot to talk about. The offseason is heating up and the questions keep coming. We're going to discuss Davante Adams potentially joining the Chiefs, Von Miller, offensive line reinforcements, Travis Kelce, and even who the best player on the roster is right now. Of course, let us know in the comments, who do you want to see on the Chiefs in 2024? If you're not yet part of our community, sign up now and turn on notifications because you'll always be up to date with everything about the Chiefs. Now let's get to the show because this offseason promises to shake up Chiefs Kingdom. Hold on, Davante Adams in Kansas City, would this be a dream? If you had asked me a few months ago when he was still with the Raiders, I would have said there was no chance. But now that he's with the Jets and the team seems ready for a rebuild, anything can happen. And the New York team has already signaled that they want to free up cap space and may accept favorable trades to move Adams. The question is, how much would it cost? The Jets won't ask for an absurd price, as Adams had over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns last year, but their priority is clearing cap space. If the asking price is something like a 3rd or 4th round pick, sign me up. The Chiefs desperately need an experienced wide receiver to give Mahomes more options and ease the burden on Rashee Rice. Would you trade for Davante Adams? Type T for trade or P for pass in the comments. Will Brett Veach surprise us again and bring an elite target for Mahomes? Now, I have to ask, does anyone really want to see Von Miller on the Chiefs? The guy is a future Hall of Famer. No one is arguing that. But let's be honest, he's far from the dominant force he was with the Broncos. After a few seasons marked by injuries and underwhelming production, Miller no longer seems to be the nightmare for offensive lines that he once was. The Bills are likely to cut him to relieve cap space, and if that happens, he could be available on a cheap contract. But is he worth the investment? Last year, he only had 6 sacks, and the season before that, none. The Chiefs already have a young and aggressive defense with Chris Jones and George Karlaftis, so it might be better to look for a more reliable addition in the market. What do you think? Would you sign Von Miller? Comment Y for yes or M for no. Do you think he can still contribute, or is it time for him to hang up his cleats? Speaking of receivers, another big question that's been floating around. Can Hollywood Brown or Juju Smith-Schuster return? Both have had moments of brilliance, but who really deserves another chance? Hollywood Brown showed flashes of talent at the end of the regular season, but disappeared in the playoffs. Juju had an incredible game against the Saints, but aside from that, he didn't stand out much. If I had to pick one of the two, I'd go with Hollywood Brown. He's got speed and potential. Hollywood Brown could be an interesting target for Mahomes on deep passes, but the big factor here is price. Neither he nor Juju Smith-Schuster is likely to cost much. So if they sign team-friendly contracts, the Chiefs might be able to bring both back to bolster their receiving core. Who do you prefer? Hollywood Brown or Juju? Comment below. Will Brett Veach look for a new name in the market, or will he rely on returning players who already know the system? Let's talk about the GOAT. Travis Kelce. Does Kelce still have gas left in the tank? Of course he does, but the offense needs to adapt. Kelce can no longer be the sole focus of the passing game. Opposing defenses already know how to double cover him and limit his impact on key plays. The solution? Give Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and maybe even a new WR, whether through the draft or a trade, more opportunities. That doesn't mean Kelce isn't essential, but the Chiefs need to diversify their offense to keep opposing defenses on edge. Plus, everyone gets older, and it's time to start grooming his successor. What do you think? Can Kelsey still be the main target on offense? Yes or no? Comment below and tell me if you think the Chiefs should look for a new tight end to share the responsibilities. The Chiefs' biggest need, offensive line reinforcements. If there's one area that needs an upgrade, it's the offensive line. Last year, we saw Mahomes working magic in too many games because the protection wasn't ideal. The Chiefs need to reinforce this unit urgently, and the expectation is that they'll look for a veteran left tackle like Ronnie Stanley or Cam Robinson. Trey Smith's potential departure could also create a hole at right guard, but the team could address that in the draft. Names like Tyler Booker have emerged as strong options, or perhaps Kingsley Suamataia could fill that spot. Either way, the Chiefs need to make sure Mahomes has the time he needs to do what he does best. Who would you like to see protecting Mahomes? Comment below with the names you think could strengthen this offensive line and give our QB more peace of mind. The best player on the roster right now, this one is easy. Patrick Mahomes, period. Yes, Joe Thuney won the team's MVP award, but let's be real, Mahomes is Mahomes. Even in a season where his numbers dip slightly, he's still the best quarterback in the NFL and the Chiefs' biggest difference maker. No other player changes the game like he does. And as long as we have Mahomes, Kansas City will always be a title contender. Does anyone disagree? If so, convince me in the comments. What's next for the Chiefs? This offseason promises to be exciting. If the Chiefs are aggressive in the market, we could see an even stronger team next season. The possibilities are endless, and Brett Veach may have a few tricks up his sleeve. Now, I want to hear from you. Who do you want to see on the Chiefs in 2024? Comment below. Let's debate and build the dream team for another Super Bowl run. If you're not yet part of our community, sign up now and turn on notifications because we bring you all the latest Chiefs news. Hollywood Brown's future. Will he stay or go? Hollywood Brown's time with the Kansas City Chiefs was supposed to be a fresh start, a chance to prove he could be a deep threat weapon for Patrick Mahomes. But after an injury-plagued season, his future in Kansas City is anything but certain. Now, reports suggest the Buffalo Bills could be eyeing him as their next offensive weapon. With Brown hitting free agency, the big question is, should the Chiefs bring him back for another shot, or will he find a new home in Buffalo with Josh Allen? Let's break it all down. When the Chiefs signed Brown to a 1-year, $7 million prove-it deal, the expectations were clear. He was supposed to be the explosive playmaker who could stretch the field for Mahomes. But things didn't go according to plan. Brown suffered a dislocated sternoclavicular joint early in the season, sidelining him for months. By the time he returned in late December, the Chiefs were already deep into their playoff push, and Brown's impact was limited. In total, he played just 2 games, recording 9 receptions for 91 yards. It's fair to say this wasn't the bounce-back season Hollywood was hoping for, and with the Chiefs needing reliable weapons around Mahomes, his future in Kansas City is in serious doubt. But just because things didn't work out in KC doesn't mean Hollywood is out of options. The Buffalo Bills are reportedly interested in adding him to their offense, a move that would pair him with another elite quarterback in Josh Allen. Buffalo's receiving core is in transition with questions surrounding Stefon Diggs' long-term future and a need for more speed on the outside. Adding Hollywood to the mix could give Allen another deep ball target to help stretch defenses and open up the passing attack. This potential move adds even more intrigue because if Hollywood does sign with Buffalo, he wouldn't just be leaving Kansas City. He'd be joining one of the Chiefs' biggest AFC rivals. What should the Chiefs do? So what happens next? Should the Chiefs give Hollywood another shot, betting on his speed and potential if he can stay healthy? Or should they let him walk, freeing up cap space for more reliable options? Let's go, Chiefs. Breaking news, it's been a busy week behind the scenes for the Chiefs. Their draft strategy is becoming clearer following the NFL Combine, and the buzz surrounding their approach is electric. Reports indicate that the team's primary focus is on 2 crucial positions, running back and tight end. With a deep class at both positions, the Chiefs are in a prime position to land dynamic players who can elevate the offense alongside their newly named franchise quarterback. And we've got some big news and highlights to share with you. But before we get started, be sure to hit the like button if you've been a Chiefs fan for over 20 years. Some of you have been fans since the 70s. It's great to see you here. This one is going to get everyone talking because we have a major free agency prediction that could change everything. Let's break it down. Stefon Diggs has been one of the NFL's elite wide receivers for most of his career. But now, at age 30 and coming off a tough season, it looks like he could be on the move. According to a report from Marissa Myers at TWSN, Diggs is expected to sign with the Kansas City Chiefs this offseason. If that happens, it could be a game changer for Patrick Mahomes and the offense. Think about it. Diggs has yet to win a Super Bowl, and Kansas City would give him his best chance to finally get a ring. The Chiefs are once again among the top Super Bowl contenders, currently holding the second best Super Bowl 60 odds at plus 700 on FanDuel. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans, where Diggs spent last season, have the 12th best odds at plus 2,800. That's a huge gap. And if Diggs wants to win now, the Chiefs make far more sense than staying in Houston. From the Texans' perspective, they're a young team that isn't quite ready to compete at the highest level. They have a bright future with C.J. Stroud, but they may need another 2 or 3 years to become serious contenders. Diggs, on the other hand, will be 32 next season. He doesn't fit into their timeline. If they decide to prioritize younger players, moving on from him would be logical. So where do the Chiefs fit in? It was clear during the Super Bowl that Kansas City needs more weapons at wide receiver. Rashee Rice will be back in 2025, but there are a few major concerns. First, he's recovering from a torn right LCL and hamstring, which means he could miss part of the season and may not be 100% right away. Second, he's dealing with serious legal issues, facing multiple charges, including aggravated assault and collisions causing injury. If Rice is suspended, it puts Kansas City in a tough spot. That's exactly why signing Diggs would make perfect sense. Sure, he's not getting any younger, but he could still be a difference maker in 2025. While Rice works his way back, Diggs could step in as Mahomes' go-to receiver. And let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Chiefs updates. Go Chiefs!